Being a visual artist, when you see something before you put it in the paper, it's just like having a nightmare while you're still awake, you know? It's a depressing state of mind, you know, to process all the stuff, you know, that you went through or the stuff that your family went through. You know, it was kind of hard, so like, it's just a statement to just say, we're still recovering from that stuff, you know? But this is it, this is where I come from. We get a lot of judgment, you know, because when people look at us, they think of us as troublemakers, you know. But what they don't know is where we come from through art, you know. Any type of art. I think that's the only way to do it at the moment. That's the only thing I can see. You see something on your own time, it give you time to process it all, you know, and stick it all in. The whole idea of us coming here is to start over a new life, you know. Some would say where we can finish school, you know.
Hello, I'm Yajel, I'm 27 and I'm currently residing in Houston, Texas. I've just moved here from Minnesota. Some may know me as a digital content creator on YouTube or Instagram. I have a YouTube channel where I showcase various makeup techniques for those with deeper complexions. I also host a wine review series and will sometimes post the occasional finance video. Outside of the content creation world, I was recently in the field of banking, so I love learning about all things finance. I'm also currently venturing into the real estate industry, so that is a venture that I'm really excited about. I love traveling, I love good food, and I just love an overall positive atmosphere. I also enjoy being around motivational or inspirational people. I feel like there is just so much to learn from those around you and just from all the things that the world has to offer. As a South Sudanese woman, I feel like it's really important to be a representation for those who aren't always represented, especially in some of the industries that I've mentioned. A lot of my work or what I do is inspired by my family, both here in the States and back home. My dad always taught us to know where you're from, that way you know where you're going, and I feel like this generation of South Sudanese are going to be the game changers for our country, and I'm just hoping that I can be a part of that in some way. I'm also just inspired a lot by those around me and from their experiences as well. I'm a firm believer in setting your standards high and keeping your standards high, and also just aspiring for whatever it is you want out of life. I definitely believe that if there is something you want, I don't think it's impossible to get it as long as you really go for it. I try to live up to that and be an example of that as much as I can. Being South Sudanese means so much to me. It means being different, it means standing out. It means knowing that you come from somewhere and knowing you belong somewhere, and just understanding that we come from such a rich culture. I feel like we are just now getting recognized by the rest of the world, so it's important for us to showcase our talents, share our culture, and to also be the ones who capitalize off that whenever necessary. I feel like programs or organizations like South Sudan Unite make that possible, so I'm really excited to be a part of this.
I'm Yellow, my twin. I'm 26 years old and I'm a business owner. I'm a big sports lover. I played basketball, soccer. I'm a big soccer fan. I played soccer, I played rugby. I did a little bit of track, but I'm not very fast. I'm just really short. I grew up with an older brother and a lot of older boy cousins and boy cousins in general. I don't like scary movies. I definitely prefer chick flicks and sports documentaries. I'm currently located in Calgary, Alberta. I moved here in 2001 into the West Coast, which is in Ontario, and then my dad decided to move us here because my aunt lives here and there was definitely more opportunity in Alberta at the time. My convictions, I am definitely pushing myself to create a better life for me, my family, and those who are definitely connected to me. I always look at migrating to this country and having a better opportunity as a blessing, because I can only imagine what my life would be like if I was still back home. My culture definitely inspires my work. Everything that I do really is connected some way to my culture, my tribe, everything that I am. I think it's important to show and normalize almost your culture to people who are not used to it. To be South Sudanese, I think it means to, just for me, like in my interpretation, I think it means we're very strong. I think we're very steadfast. We are unbreakable, that's for sure. Our work ethic is impeccable. I think we're the most beautiful people probably in the entire world. When you tap into how amazing we really are and the way we are built for a lot of great things, I think you start to be so in awe with yourself and the things that you're capable of doing. I just want to thank all the organizers for allowing me to be part of this event. I think it's very humbling and obviously it's such a great experience to be a part of it. I am truly, truly humbled and so grateful, and I feel like it's very important to show representation. So it's important for everybody to know that there's a lot of different things out there that any of you can do if you really want to, and that we're out here, we're trying to create something different, and we're not just trying to, you know, fit into the mold and just stick to what everybody else is doing, and that if you want to do these things too, there's people out there who are also trying and that look exactly like you and have the same issues you have, and we're still trying to get it done. Thank you guys so much.
Hi South Sudan Unite, my name is Akir Benjamin. I am a wife, a mother of two, a beauty enthusiast, and now I am a business owner. I am the founder of Benji Cosmetics. Benji Cosmetics is a beauty brand that I launched at the beginning of this year, and the vision behind Benji Cosmetics is to create fun, innovative, and quality makeup products for the African woman. What inspired me to start Benji Cosmetics? I worked as a freelance makeup artist in Nairobi, Kenya and South Sudan for a number of years, mostly focusing on bridal makeup. The complaints that my clients would always had was the lack of quality makeup products that was available to them and that represented them as African women. And so that's basically where Benji Cosmetics was born. I wanted to create products that were of quality, that were innovative, and that were fun, and that represented the African woman and her beauty. I'm currently located in Nairobi, Kenya, and this is where Benji Cosmetics is operating as well. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, it's been very difficult to be able to ship the Benji Cosmetics products outside of Kenya, but I'm working very hard to be able to have those products available and shipped internationally very soon. I've always considered myself to be a pretty artistic person, and to me, makeup is an art form. The products that I use, whether on myself or on my clients, are the tools, and so this is where I find inspiration for my work. To me, being South Sudanese means being creative, being strong, being beautiful, and most of all, being resilient. I believe that as an individual and as a collective, we South Sudanese have to understand that we have a lot to offer, we have a lot to bring to the table, and with that realization, we can be able to build a better South Sudan, not just for us, but for future generations to come.
Hello, my name is Nyibing. I'm 20 years old and I'm from the Washington, D.C. area in the United States. I'm a South Sudanese American artist who works traditionally painting and drawing as well as digitally. In the fall, I'll be attending art school as a junior. Most of the subject matter in my work is related to Nilotic tribes, oftentimes Dinka and Nuer because that is my cultural background. I try to take ordinary people and place them in extraordinary surroundings in order to highlight the diversity of South Sudan and East Africa. One of my favorite memories as a child was attending the first Independence Day celebration in Juba on July 9th, 2011. Everybody was so hopeful for the future and proud that we had won the fight for our freedom. Being South Sudanese means that determination and perseverance is in our DNA. My artwork is how I showcase the beauty and excellence of our people.
Hi, my name is Chalina Anguk. I'm 29 years old. I'm a biochemistry student at the University of Minnesota, as well as a freelance hairstylist. I believe that we all have a God-given purpose that we need to seek out. I also believe that we need to do well unto others. Personally, I have always believed that healthcare is an unalienable right and not a privilege to the wealthy. A dream of mine was always to provide better health for those back home. For me, being South Sudanese means having a community that feels like family. Rich melanated skin of those that stand tall and united. New opportunities for a new nation to prosper. If and only if we allow ourselves to heal from our war-torn history. Our talents are staggering and stretch across the globe. Come check out mine.
My name is Angera Mall, and if you speak Tongian, Loidiwe Chakamotaret, Anyechola Ngeramol. I am actually located in Dallas, Texas, and I am a photographer within the DFW area. Also, I am a freeform abstract painter. What inspired me to start photography itself, coming from the fashion industry. So I took those skills that I've earned from being a model for us and took that and incorporated into my photography. I actually do portrait photography, I do food photography, and also product photography. And some of my work I've actually been featured in magazine. My first ever magazine feature was with Elegant magazine. So that really helped me and pushed me to continue with my creative side. What does it mean to be South Sudanese for me? It means, being South Sudanese means resilient. No matter where you are in this world, and obviously, as you all know, we're part of the refugee community, and just being anywhere in the world, that we're very resilient people and we learn to survive, whether it's through creativity, whether it's through educational system, or just being an entrepreneur in general. We're a resilient type of people, and that's what it means to be South Sudanese. I am South Sudan.
Hello everybody, I hope everybody's staying safe out there, staying healthy during these hard times that we're facing here in 2020, but we're going to fight it off. So I'm just going to do a small introduction video for South Sudan Unite. So I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Lamude Duku, aka Lemonade Man. The reason why I say Lemonade Man is because that's my music tag. So I'm a musician, I'm a producer, I play guitar, I play bass, I played piano, and I played drums. So what inspired me to do my work? So I started playing music when I was around like 9, 10 years old. started in the church. I used to see my uncles and them were able to play all these instruments. So I was like, yo, that's pretty cool. I want to learn. So that once I started touching all these instruments, I just never went back. And as time came, started improving, I started getting better. I started getting a lot of positivity from people. Used to be like, yo, like, this is nice, you know. I was probably, I'm not saying I'm one of the first, but I was one of the youngest in the Sudanese community here in Kansas City to start playing music. So people were surprised, like, yeah, well, this little boy can do all these things. So I was, like I said, I was getting a lot of positivity, which led me to keep going and keep doing what I want to do. And hard work is paying off, because over time, I was facing some criticism, whatever, because it used to be like, oh, this dude doesn't know how to play, whatever. But as I started getting better and better, people are actually like, yo, I actually like what you're doing. So, so shout out to everybody out there that's supporting me out there, and thank you guys so much, and I won't fail you guys.
Hello everybody, my name is Peldang. I'm the creator of Nilotic Culture. The reason why I decided to start Nilotic Culture was because I wanted to have something that represented East Africa and South Sudan. Let me tell you a little story on why I decided to create this brand. So about 3 years ago, in 2017, I was at a shopping mall looking at an article of clothing. And this article of clothing had a bunch of different flags on there. And I noticed there wasn't any South Sudan flag or really even any Eastern African flags. So at that point, I decided to make something that will represent East Africa and South Sudan. Nilotic culture basically represents all the countries that the Nile River flows through and or borders. One of my goals with Nilotic culture is hopefully to inspire the youth to educate themselves more on where we come from, all while having clothing that represents them as well. And Nilotic culture basically just has everyday clothing that we wear, that we can wear, that represents where we come from and be proud of. A lot of these pieces can be conversational points. A lot of the time, you know, just day to day, people ask me what Nilotic means, and I'm able to explain that to them and, you know, have an educational conversation behind that. And so I hope you guys will join me on this journey.
They're not even ready. They not. Nah. See, what they thought we had something before, but what we got going on right now, nah, they're not even ready. And you can't really coming on though. Yup. Hold up. Wait. All right, guys. I hope y'all having a great time with me. I hope y'all love what we got going on. Love what we got sharing. Also, y'all know how to change it up. Put a little Miami vibe right there. I see what you're doing. Little Rico Suave. I like it. I love it. I know the people love it. I know the girls love it. Little Miami vibe. We love to see it. We love to see it. Been during quarantine. We just giving it to y'all. Now, y'all know we got more content coming up. Hold on, my assistant calling me, y'all. Give me 1 second. Y'all know I had to... What y'all know about that with a top brim? What y'all know about that? You know, some. With and without hair. We still doing it. Stay tuned. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on Facebook. Make sure y'all follow us. And hold on. I got more people talking to me. I don't know what's going on. What happened?
My sisters.
Oh. Did y'all hear that? Y'all hear we got coming up next? The My Sisters. They coming up. Little do they know, I'm the triplet. I'm the third one. They don't know. I can't. Y'all could be a hype man. I could be a hype man. Just call me. I'm first class to Australia. Just call me. All right, y'all stay tuned. See what else we got going on.
Hello everyone. My name is Sarah Duku and I'm a fashion designer based in Dallas, Texas. I started sewing in 2015 right after I graduated high school. I was going to a lot of stores and not finding clothes that fit my waist and hips correctly, so I was like, you know what, let me just start sewing. I started by watching YouTube videos and just slowly progressing step by step in my sewing skills. In 2017, Michael Mojok reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to be in the fashion show for South Sudan Unite, and I was a bit nervous. I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know if people are gonna like my designs, but I did it anyway. So my friends were there, and once they started walking and I heard the crowd's reactions and my friends came back like, oh my gosh, Sarah, did you hear that? Wow, yeah. I was very encouraged and just very joyed in my heart because I didn't know that I had that much potential or I was that good until I heard like everybody was like, oh, you're so good, and I was like, oh, okay, you know what, I am that good. But after that, a lot of people started reaching out to me and asking me to sew them clothes, and that's when I transitioned from just having fun in sewing to an actual business. So for all those that are coming into the fashion industry and trying to sew, I encourage you, one, to be yourself. Make sure that your clothes represent you and it's not just a copycat of every other trend that's happening. You set your own trends. And I encourage that don't let anybody undervalue you. Don't let anybody lower your prices or make you feel like your work isn't good enough to get the full value of what it is. And as I always tell my friends, we are South Sudanese, meaning that we're not really known for doing a lot of things. So whatever you're gonna do, whatever you're gonna put your heart into, make sure that you are the best, that you're doing the best that you can in it, because we're gonna be making South Sudan history books. So might as well really be the best that you can be in the field that you wanna be. And don't be afraid to step out of the norm, careers and all that other stuff. If you want to be creative, master your creative side and you'll be known. And that's all I have to say. I am South Sudan, and happy Independence Day, South Sudan. All right, bye everyone.
Hi, my name is Mimi Gyak and I'm based out in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm a wardrobe stylist out here. And what inspires my work is basically mixing masculine and feminine, so like menswear with a lot of feminine pieces. I like that hard and soft mixture. And my goal with what I do is just to make people just happy and feel better about themselves and more confident. And you know, I'm really proud to be South Sudanese. The one thing I think of with us is that I just feel like we're very powerful and resilient. A lot of us have come from being refugees, including myself. And I'm just proud of how we come up from that. And a lot of us are doing wonderful, amazing things. So that's what I'm really proud about being South Sudanese.
Abbotsford and Edmonton, Canada. I am a fashion designer and a practical nurse working towards my BSN. What inspires my work is definitely art, culture, and music. Celebrating uniqueness is definitely a highlight for me as an artist. From a young age, I loved designing, which led to taking art classes and science classes in high school, leading to a full scholarship to a fashion school, and creating my first brand at age 18. And here we are 13 years later. But what it means to be a Southern Sudanese, it means culture, diversity, and hospitality. And I must say, we're one of the first civilizations. I am South Sudan.
Hello world, I go by the name of Nyon. I want to say a huge happy Independence Day to all my people back home in South Sudan, as well as across the world. Let's get it. I can get edited out.
So now none of this is going to be audio, so we're going to get out of that.
Yeah. Let's go. Where till I drop? Running out from these fools, they want me to flop, so I'm on the clock. Where till I drop? Running out from these fools, they want me to flop, so work, got Rihanna in my head, that's all I know. Used to want a deal, so I put it in the song, that's all she wrote. Nigga out in Paris, he be chillin' on his own, that's one of my brothers, let's go. Switch flows at the right time, yeah. Switch goes with the new grind, yeah. Switch clothes at the night time, fuck a whole money's on my mind. Got a vision, baby, anytime. Coming back to love you every night. Baby girl got me feeling nice. If you let me love you right. My niggas get money, you know you cannot stop. Speed at the top spot, make the block hot. That's the boost to myself, yeah, I do that shit. Used to ask me your help and you do that shit. You thought I was dumb and I do that shit. You bitches ain't shit, watch me do that shit. I always gotta share all the food I get. I don't want it if it's more than what my brother is getting. We with it together. Happy Independence Day, everybody. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Heard you wanna hang with a brother like me. Coming with the bang and it's more than like three that I tight squeeze and I'm icy in my night beats when I snipe beats. I heard you wanna hang with a brother like me. Coming with the bang and it's more than like three that I tight squeeze and I'm icy in my night beats when I snipe beats. Catch him at the drop, probably getting faded. Chilling with the boys, making she is shorty rated. He thinking different lately. He thinking fuck you pay me. He thinking green, might clean, yeah, it's renovated. He's over hiatus, screaming hi hater. About to make these nails wet like a vibrator. I love my young niggas, prayers getting bigger. Might win, do your thing and post for the picture of the play. Do it big, we stay doing it. We pray you in there, but we can't hang with you, sis. Come on, you know who this is. Sizzle G, you in there. You think I'm about to lose a trick? I ain't with that foolishness, I'm off topic. Thinking about my wallet, gotta get that profit. Growing up, didn't know about it. You tell them, boy, stop it. The young guns watching, you gotta keep going. Show them all where the top is. I'm off. Coming with the bang and it's more than like me that I tight squeeze and I'm icy in my night beats when I snipe beats. I heard you wanna hang with a brother like me. Coming with the bang and it's more than like me that I tight squeeze and I'm icy in my night beats when I snipe beats. Overthinking got me thinking hard. On guard, all these feelings got me drinking hard. From tomorrow, you won't see me on the boulevard. Grove Street, I might pull up with the stupid broad. I hope my niggas save me. I think I'm seeing hate. I know these bitches crazy. I think I'm tripping, baby. I'm over being right now, and it be like that. The first time, very wild, watch me be right back. But it's cool. One call to my brother, then we move. 10 niggas in the car with no room. Cops pull up, then we bitch. Fuck the rules. Tell them youngins pick it up by noon. Alright, been in my feelings. Blow my top up, no ceilings. And I turn up, beat up, why you chillin'? Got no cash, where you living? In the past, go to school, fuck the class. So what you do? I'm in the trap. You a fool, holla back. Boy, I'm saying packing bags, no cash. With a brother like me, coming with the bang and it's more than like me that I tight squeeze and I'm icy in my night beats with my snipe beats. I heard you wanna hang with a brother like me, coming with the bang and it's more than like me that I tight squeeze and I'm icy in my Nikes when I snipe beats. Happy Independence Day and enjoy the rest of the show.
Hi, my name is Sarah Jackson, and I am from South Sudan, from Pojulu tribe. A little bit about myself. I am 26 years of age and currently living in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. I am a full-time fashion designer.
MC Lomex Telescope Taikulu Digagistakan Binya Pojulu Best. Okay, let's go. Binya Pojulu, 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 Binya Pojulu, 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 Chibulana Binya Pojulu, Under Binya Pojulu, Chibulana Binya Pojulu, Under Binya Pojulu, Chibulana Binya Pojulu, Under Binya Pojulu, Banata Lanya Wenu, Banata Bereka Wenu, Pojulu Tajube Wenu, Banata Bojora Wenu, Pojulu Tabukaya Wenu, Banata Loka Wenu, Banata Kenyi Wenu, Banata Moche Wenu, Banata Wonduba Wenu, MC Lomex, give what is it a good, give what is it a good, line of command, give what is it a good, give what is it a good, the new cine best, the new cine best. Binya Pojulu, 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 Binya Pojulu, 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 Chibulana Binya Pojulu, Under Binya Pojulu, Chibulana Binya Pojulu, Under Binya Pojulu, Chibulana Binya Pojulu, Under Binya Pojulu. Banata Pojulu Hilwin, Banata Pojulu Javin, Banata Pojulu Hardworking, Halatu, Kilamansi, Kamar, Kulu Javin, Baba, 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 Chibulana.
What inspired my brand or my collection? As a young girl who grew up with a fashion designer dad in Uganda, that created so many beautiful gowns for our African women, I wanted to create something that speaks so much of my heritage, that speaks so much of my roots. And that's why I focused on creating something that that's very modern, so that not just African people can wear it, but people from different backgrounds and different cultures as well. I wanted to create something that you can wear, not just for those special occasions, but something that you could wear to simple things as just like going to work or going to the beach or going to a small gathering, things like that. But definitely the African prints, I wanted to focus on that, to promote that as well, because there's not enough of it outside Africa, of course. And let's start again. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. one thing as well for me, what it means to be a South Sudanese fashion designer, particularly as someone who's in the creative industry, you could understand how many cultures we got in South Sudan just alone. So I love that fact that I can be inspired by so many different cultures, what is to do with the styles that we have, and at the same time I love that our people love bold and beautiful, colorful things, and that's what all my brand it's all about. So for me, that's the best thing about what it means to be South Sudanese. It's the love that we have for a lot of things, and fashion is one of them. And so that's why I love to be South Sudanese fashion designer.
Are y'all having a great time? I know I'm having a great time. Shout out to my amazing co-hosts, Granette and Yak. Y'all did an amazing job holding it down with me. Oh, did someone see some of my glowing skin? Thank you. Brought to you by New Body Butter, as well as the space inspired by Benji Cosmetics and the jewels by The Luxury. Make sure you guys do follow and support these South Sudanese businesses. The best way you can do so is by buying South Sudanese. Make sure you guys also follow our amazing creatives, as well as our South Sudan Unite page on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Facebook. Don't log off just yet. We have so much more amazing content to show you guys. Also, shout out to South Sudan Unite for our 6-year anniversary. Shout out to my beautiful home country, South Sudan. Happy Independence Day. We're gonna celebrate all month long. Catch you at the after party. It's 20 at the door. I'm gonna see y'all then.